and look at the first expert challenge. Okay, so we have preloaded. So preloaded is no fluff. All cards get one upgrade slot, and all cards come pre-upgraded. So then, what can we look at here? I think it's a pretty... Preloaded's a pretty standard. I think you can go with most things because neither of the effects, I would say, favor too many different types of builds. So what we want to look at then is, oh, hello, that is some flashy card backs. Let's do a more standard one here. What you want to look at is more, are there going to be a lot of cards that are, yeah, legit pure chances, pure chance. We want to look at cards that especially don't require multiple upgrades. So let's start with Hellhorn. Let's look at units first. Imps, I mean, imps can have upgrades. There's not really too much to say about that. What you want is imps with endless, which can be a little bit problematic if you can't get it. You certainly don't want imps with like large stone and stuff like that. Looking at uncommon, this one becomes a little bit more problematic with Hellhorn because most of the Hellhorn units, you want things like multi-strike. If you get like a Demon Fiend with large stone or an Alpha Fiend with large stone, it becomes really difficult to play them. Yeah, okay. So then, yeah, you don't worry about which upgrades they're going to get. Or, sorry, you don't think about which clan up specific upgrades they're going to get. But yeah, you still have to worry about... do you want specific upgrades on units? And if you don't get them, are you going to be okay? I think Hellhorn becomes a little bit difficult for that because you do typically want specific upgrades. I mean, with any units, you want like multi-strike and things like that. But here, I think it becomes a little bit more difficult. Let's check out spell-wise with Hellhorn. What do you want with Hellhorn spells? I mean, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. You can get like damage on Dark Deal or damage on Branding Right, and those get pretty bad. Vent, I think, can only get damage, so that one's probably just fine. You might get like consume removal on a lot of these, which is pretty bad. Most of the consume cards in Hellhorn are really bad with consume removal, which is typically what you're going to get. You might get -1s. So that kind of, I think, kind of rules out Hellhorn as a main clan. If we look at Awoken, some of them can only get holdover. Like a Steel Enhancer, Unleash the Wildwood. They can only get... Oh, no. Yeah. These two can only get holdover. So that actually is really good. Preserve Thorns could get remove consume and hold, or yeah, just remove consume, which would actually be just fine with it. Invigorating Solution can get consume remove, which is totally fine. Pyre Growth's not as good. Rooted can only get holdover, which is, or ensnare, which is kind of weird. A lot of them are going to get damage. A lot of them are going to get -1, which seems okay in a lot of this stuff. Cycle of Life and Awake could get double stack, which would be really bad. -1 on them would be okay. Holdover on them is kind of bad. Spreading Spores could get holdover, double stack, or -1. Nothing too great. So the stack stones here are going to be almost universally bad. The one exception would be if you got it with Wildwood Sap, then it's okay. But for all the rest where you can get stack stone, it ends up being pretty bad. And a lot of them are going to end up being either +10 magic power, +20 magic power, but -1s would be good on almost everything. And then holdovers on some of the 0 costs would be really good or okay. So it's kind of a mixed bag with Awoken, but certainly better than Hellhorn. Looking at units. Yeah, unit upgrades with Awoken like if you don't get the right unit upgrades with Animus of Will and Animus of Speed, they're pretty trash tier. So if you end up with something like plus 10 damage on either of them, then you only have 3 health, which is really bad. Edge Priors, it doesn't really matter. Husk Hermit and Shattered Shell. Shattered Shell has very specific upgrades you want. The Hollows don't matter quite as much. Vine Mother doesn't really care. Wilting Sapwood's going to be pretty bad no matter what it has. So unit-wise, Awoken's pretty bad, but spell-wise, it's actually okay. So that's definitely one candidate. Stygian Guard. Stygian Guard, starting with units, a lot of them aren't going to care too much, as any of the incanters don't really care. Yeah, they don't really care. If outside of the incanters, the sweep units, they can go health or damage. You really want something like quick or multi-strike on them. Well, not even, you don't really want quick if you can't upgrade their damage. So really like multi-strike, health, or raw damage is okay. Titan Sentry, I mean, as long as it's not multi-strike, he's going to be just fine. But all the incanters don't really care. So that's actually a good thought, is going incant, because you don't really care what upgrades you get on the incant units. In terms of spells, there's going to be a lot of Consume Remove, and Consume Remove on most of the Consume cards in Awoken are not particularly great, but they're not awful. So Consume Remove on Crystalline Seeds is like, okay, it's 1 cost for Frostbite 6 on all the floor. Spell Weakness 2 is not bad. Silence is pretty bad. You don't want multiple silences. Spikeless Stygian's okay to get Consume Remove on. And then in terms of the other spells, you're getting a lot of Stack Stone potential, a lot of plus 10 damage. Some of them can only get -1 in holdover, like Hoarfrost Effigy, just for a guard. Guardian's Amulet could get Stack Stone. So it's kind of a mixed bag here with spells. You're hoping for a lot of -1 costs. Some magic power is actually pretty good on some of them, like Ice and Pyre. You would love to get magic power. Ice Storm basically is worthless without magic power. Some of the ones are also okay with it, like Ancient Energy is okay with magic power. So again, it's kind of mixed bag here. Units are certainly pretty reliable because you're going to get mostly incanters. About half the units in the entire set are incanters, and the incanters don't really mind whatever upgrades you end up getting. So it's interesting. Going to Umbra. Umbra units don't really care too much for upgrades. The exception is Crucible Collector, Crucible Warden. They really need health. Well, Crucible Collector needs health. Crucible Warden usually can do fine without health. He really wants multi-strike, but Crucible Collector needs health to be able to survive up to 30 damage, which is the baseline for Seraph. If he doesn't have at least 30 health, he'll just die to Seraph. So you either have to get that with upgrades, or you have to get that with morsels. Outside of that, Gorgers, I guess, don't really care too much. Like, Overgorger doesn't really care. You would love to get multi-strike, but he doesn't actually need it to be good. The Morsel Maker, Morsel Masters don't care about upgrades as long as they don't get Large Stone. Alloyed Construct really wants Large Stone, but doesn't necessarily need it. So this could also be a way to go. Let me look at spells. With spells, most of the consume removals are actually totally fine to remove consume on, which is pretty good. The double stacks on most of the double stacks are going to be also pretty good. So Furnace Tap double stacked is great. Void Binding double stacked is great. The biggest issue here is going to be in order to enable the Ember Drain package, you need to get like holdover on Perils of Production, which is fairly likely. You can only get either Stackstone or holdover, so any perils that you get might already come with holdover, which would make the rest of the deck pretty straightforward. So this also seems okay to go with a kind of Umbra Gorge or Ember Drain package build. And then last, Melting Remnant. Melting Remnant, consume removals are pretty bad. Yeah, they're not that great, but not awful. So Sacred Wicks is okay to remove consume from. Memories of the Melted depends on your build. Halidrip, I guess they're not awful. I should say they're not awful. Wax and Spike is burnout regardless of whether it's consumed, removed, or not. Then looking at the other cards, there's not really anything that you're going to get Stackstone on. Maybe Mortal Entrapment, that would be pretty bad. Engulfed in Smoke. Looking at some of the more important ones, if we're looking at things like, I guess you can also get it on Wicklash and Purifying Cleanse, which is not awful, but not really that great. You don't really want necessarily double stack on any of your burnout effects. Intent on Death can only get -1 or holdover. That's actually pretty good. Wicked Blaze is the same. A lot of in fact, all the reform cards are that way. They can only get -1 or holdover, which is good. Not a lot of damage stuff. You can get damage on Memento Mori, Fatal Melting, and Subsuming Blade, Mortal Entrapment. Another -1 or holdover. The fact that you can get -1 and holdover on a lot of them is actually pretty good. Maybe it's Melting Remnant. Plus, then you can take advantage if you randomly get a Wickstone on any unit. It's not pure trash because you're very likely to be able to reform them again. Given that you can't pick the upgrades on units, I lean toward a build where you're reliant on your champion to do most of the relentless combat, and then your units are mostly there to either chump block or pick off units that get through, or to either block for your champion or to kill off anything that's not killed off by your champion. So I kind of like this Umbra Melting Remnant setup because I don't feel like either of them are entirely dependent on unit or on upgrades compared to the others. And the upgrades you're going to get on the ones where it becomes important. Yeah, but the problem with the Sentient Rejuvenation build is relentless combat becomes really becomes a big struggle. I'm thinking either Penumbra, and I would either go monstrous or glutton, or rector flicker with accumulator, either accumulator or burn bright. You know, we have not done a rector flicker build in a long time. I think we can do it. I think we do accumulator, because then you don't care about what happens on your units as long as they're dying regularly. And we're hoping that we get endless, but if not, we have reform. And then we go Umbra secondary that we can chump block with morsels, which also builds accumulator. And we can take advantage of the Ember Drain package on Rector Flicker. So let's try this. Let's try Rector Flicker with Umbra secondary and see how that goes. So we go Rector Flicker standard with Shade Splitter. And again, we're hoping for accumulator, but we would also take Burn Bright. So we have 2 of the 3 options seem okay. Dark Harvest I don't think is going to be as good with this setup here. I kind of like Firewall. I don't want enemies -1 because I want units to die if I take accumulator, but Firewall is always good. We get both choices. What did we have as our starter cards? Given our starters, I think accumulator makes a lot more sense. Perils of Productions, yeah, because we don't have any way to reform him, so we take accumulator now, and we hopefully get holdover at the first spell shop. Yeah, totally fine. We can take this because the Pyre has Pyre Wall, so they won't do as much damage to us. We're going to do... Let's see, this would be plus 10 health, minus 18. Let's do it on the second floor. And put you in the top floor to try to kill the collector. Okay. That helps out a lot. We get to kill 2 of them. We can get 2 shade splitters out here, which then helps you. Not a lot, but does help. Okay. And get another one of you out. And I think it's double shade splitter as well. Yeah. Get you out here. Block the hit. And it doesn't really matter. Let's just do it like that. We're going to take 3 damage to our Pyre. Whoop-de-doo. This is going to be 9 damage to the Pyre. Also doesn't really matter that much. And I think it's probably okay to start growing your damage. Oh, did I misjudge that in terms of damage? Wow, we're already killing him. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, just too much health. But only taking 5 damage for the first trials, okay. Probably we could have done that a little bit better, but it's fine. Holdover on Molded. Or an Endless Entomb Explosive. That seems pretty good. 0 cost Wicklash, but no. It's an Endless Entombed Explosive is just really good. Oh yeah, you can get permafrost on stuff. Totally forgot about that. Space Prism's okay. Because we want to put more units on that floor. A multi-striking Shadow Siege. I mean, we do have 2 Perils of Production. That's not awful. We can't fit it now, but I think this is worth it. Because if we can ever get to the point where we can consistently play it, then the game's just over. So with that, we want spell upgrades with the chance. Yeah, I don't really care about any of this. I guess there is something to say about Wickless Tycoon being on the same floor and then also getting money from everything. You know what? That's okay. We'll take that. And then we can't get forward holdover anyway. Man, we need removal. Let's not spend any money right now. We need to save money for specifically holdover on Perils of Production to make it likely that we can play this Shadow Siege. 10 armor. 10 armor is a little bit difficult because we don't have a lot of damage unless we literally... Well, I guess we do with the Entombed Explosive. Entombed Explosive kind of puts it over the edge. As long as we're getting them pretty early. Yeah, that burnout 1 Paraffin Thug. Yeah, not very good. So this already kills the front unit. Putting you in second place. I think we even can put a jeweler. 59, and then you kill the second unit. Yeah, that's perfect. Really good. Now we'd certainly like... So you're going to kill the front unit. You can kill the collector. And then I think we put... It's going to die either way. I'd rather have it do damage. And since it's going to die either way, we can put Perils of Production on it. To get another 4 damage out and put you behind him. That helps a lot. This increases the space. Get some damage out. Just want as much stats as we can. That's going to be pretty good. I think we should be able to kill on the second floor. Certainly wish I could kill the middle unit, but I think it's fine. And even if it gets to the top, we can still afford to take one shot to the pyre. This blocks one hit. Just get as much money now out of it as we can. Just kidding. What can that even do? We're gonna get in. Oh, we're gonna get entombed explosive. We're fine. Cool. We could almost play Shadow Siege if we had the capacity, but that works. Cool, cool. We actually made a lot of money there, which is another endless entombed explosive. It's too many. We can't afford that. Yeah, I think we skip here. Perils of Production double stacked is awful. Mine Collapse. Holdover. I think it's too difficult. So I think we skip. Shadow Eater with spikes is actually pretty good. We don't have any Gorge units yet, and this would be pretty good AoE. I think it's too many draft units though, so I think we'll skip. I think we're fine with the draft units that we have, and now we want to... Let's go with health and artifacts. We don't have anything we really want to duplicate yet. Extinguish abilities, that's really good with our entombed explosives. That means they do 100 damage on death, which is quite strong. Hello, capacity. Yeah, I think we do manual or history of the world, or is it? No, it's just pure Railhammer. Just adding Railhammer makes it so that we can already play the Shadow Siege, and then we can take draw for both upgrade paths. That makes it more likely that we get Shadow Siege and a Perils of Production in the same hand, which is really, really important for us. But this is already kind of coming together. I mean, obviously, if we get the Shadow Siege playable, then it's like really coming together. But even if we don't, it's still okay. Let's increase capacity in the middle floor and get both of them in there. Now we want our, our Harvest Tycoon. Get you out there. Yeah, this looks awesome. We're getting a lot of kills out here. Are you the endless one? You're not the endless one. But yes, he's doing 100. Or no, he's doing 50 damage twice. Because it triggers 2 times. Which is why the Train Steward is not taking any damage. That's so good. That's so good. So much better than just flat damage. Let's put you guys... you know... Yeah, let's put you out here. We'd rather have you die. That's fine. Hopefully we get a second one to get through this set. We don't, but we can get a Shade Splitter out here, and I think it's better to have it die to grow both of them. Now you're gonna get through. That's a little bit of a problem. Get you out here. You out there. It's not great, but you'll get 5 more damage off. They're not gonna take. They're not gonna put any damage onto our pyre, which is good. Okay, that kills one. I don't think it makes sense to have a second one up there. Oh, just put this here. Yeah. Now we're killing everything. That's awesome. Let's put you guys here. Then we don't. Yeah, then we're not stressing at all about pyre damage. Not that we were anyway, because they aren't going to do that much damage to the pyre, but still. Alright, just get you out here again, killing everything, which is excellent. Just get more souls up here. You know, I would maybe take a one of the Crucible, Warden, or Collector would not be awful. Man, this is just super good. Good luck. We're all counting on you. I think we have enough health now on Rector Flicker. I may consider swapping these two in the future. Huh, we could actually play Shadow Siege if we didn't dump all their capacity here. But it's fine. Now we're in really good shape. We can even stun for a turn. Give you Perils of Production. Put you... It doesn't really matter where we put you now. Cool. Yeah, I know. That's kind of why I wanted to play Rector Flickers, because I also have not played him in a while, so I want to get him out there. What did this get? Permafrost on Remnant Pact. That is interesting. Wretch is also interesting, but I think neither of them are really what we want. Well, is Remnant Pact good? It's really, really good on Rector Flicker, because then even if Rector Flicker dies, you can move him up to the second floor. I actually like that. Let's get Remnant Pact. It's for relentless fights. Ooh, Overgorger. Is that getting too... I think we're getting a little too heavy, though. But I did say I would take a Crucible Warden to gorge with. That's probably okay. And then we want draw for certain. Quick on to Formless Child. He's gonna not hit you very quickly. I think we do removal and spells. We still want holdover on Perils of Production, and we don't need another unit. And we also don't need unit upgrades. Our units are already upgraded how we want. Let's get rid of Train Stewards. And we can -1. I think -1 onto Mortal Entrapment's okay. We could permafrost a Perils of Production. Maybe that's better. We permafrost the Perils of Production, maybe get holdover on the other one, and then we just wait. There's a stack stone. We definitely don't want stack stone. Let's -1 on Shade Splitters. And I'm fine getting rid of 2 more Train Stewards immediately. And yeah, here we go. I think this is really solid. I think we have a really good chance of being able to play Shadow Siege now. Not even a really good chance. It's almost guaranteed. So we just have to make sure that we keep 1 floor 6 completely open. Then we're good. Yeah, we don't care about this. I think this is a really solid build. We have fantastic scalability. We can play Shadow Siege now. So let's do it. Good luck. And it has multi-strike, which is what you exactly want on him. We can even put endless on him if we want. But we can do it later. Let's just put these guys here for now. You guys in there. Toss you guys up here. Space Prism. Now we can start blocking with Entombed Explosives. A pretty big dude there that we got on our hands. Sure, we can put you up front. And we'll keep it at that for now. Get you back out there. We get to kill something. Good for them. I think it's time to put Remnant Pact on Shadow Siege. And then we just keep this in hand. It is pretty funny. And then eventually we'll get back to our Crucible Warden again. Oh, we got a garbage. Put you there again. And we're good. Yeah, I mean, he's going to kill the boss. There's no way. Cool. Hello. I love googly eyes. Votavary is really interesting. Votavary could be really good. Votavary with Subsuming Blade. Subsuming Blade with holdover. Do I care? I mean, this is a way to grow rector flicker and get coins out of Wickless Tycoon. I think it's good. Skip. What do we want to do here? I don't think we want unit upgrades. Let's do removal and more coins. Yeah. Let's get rid of... What now? I think it's the... Huh. Is it drags? Is it the non-endless entombed explosives? Shade splitters? Maybe it's shade splitters. And then what to duplicate? I kind of like duplicating the endless entombed explosive. We could get a second Shadow Siege, but I think it's the endless entombed explosive. Having two of them is really valuable, especially now that we have a way to kill them off consistently. Yeah, we don't care. We want a very thin deck. In fact, maybe we keep removing everything. Get down to just the bare bones, what we want out of the deck. How do I want to play this? I think we want to play... We'll put Shadow Siege at the top. Get 1, 2, 3. And then get you in the middle. There we go. There's the Perils of Production, so we can play Shadow Siege now. Is that worth not playing Wickless Tycoon? You know, we'll have plenty of time. Well, we have time. We don't need to do it now. Let's wait and get it in there later. I want you in there to get money. I think we want to try to get as much money as possible. It's going to be better for us in the long run. We can chump block with a drag here. And now we wait. We're going to miss out on the collector, but I think we're going to get more coins other ways. So we keep getting the endless entombed the entombed explosive back in there. Get a drag in there. We can put endless onto the rector flicker and give you some damage shield. Now here's where things get dicey, but we should be getting back to Shadow Siege relatively soon. So we can do Entombed Explosive, Entombed Explosive. I kind of like subsuming blading this guy in the back. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's, yeah, maybe it's you. Although we could, this is interesting, we could, So we're going to Perils of Production one of you. That's going to happen. Then I think putting you here, yeah, guarantees you're both dying. So then I think subsuming blading the backliner here makes the most sense. Although we could subsuming blade you now and then put a dragon to prevent damage onto Wickless Tycoon. And that would get us more, give us another slay trigger. That seems okay. So then we get a dragon there to block one of the, oh, I guess this doesn't actually block a hit now. Maybe that wasn't as good. But it's fine. Still looking okay. Then we want more capacity here. No, put a capacity here. We just need one Entombed Explosive here. One here. Oh, crap. I think we need to use the Perils of Production in order to get the subsuming blade out. It's pretty important. So let's do it like this, because we want this to die anyway. That's right, we actually do want this to die. So then we get this out, we subsuming blade it, get you in here, and that seemed pretty good. How are we doing? One Entombed Explosive kills you. So there you go. We can subsuming blade it. To get a second one in. getting us even more money. Yeah, we're getting look how much money we're getting here. We have 530 coins. We're in really good shape. And that's level 2 accumulator. He's only going to get stronger. We don't need another... I don't think we need any of this. We don't really want to reform. We have endless units. I don't think we want the Ember or cannibalize. Ember Forge is certainly interesting. It would just be +2 Ember per turn, but we're good. We already have the enabler for Shadow Siege. And we would have been able to do it because we would have drawn both of them in the next turn. Money, money, money. Yeah, that's right. So we go spell upgrades. We still want holdover. Didn't get it. We can get -1 on Shade Splitters. Nothing to add that to. We still want minus. We still want another holdover, or we want a holdover on it. And then let's continue to purge out. Let's get rid of the 2 entombed explosives that are not endless. And I'm also okay to get rid of 1 drag. Because this is really getting us down to just the bare bones cards that we absolutely need. What else do we want? I don't think we want Intent on Death. Normally it would be pretty good, but not with this build. I mean, obviously Furnace Tap would be amazing. So that would be probably the main thing, is getting Furnace Tap. So we get you out here, get you out here. This kills both of them. That's fantastic news. Okay, get you up here. And then we'll put Shadow Siege in the middle. Weight of Contrition is going to be super annoying. So again, the question is, do we get Shadow Siege out now? And I think we still greed. This will kill the front unit, the second unit. This will kill all of them. That seems good. And then we just wait, and we get Shadow Siege around on the second go around. We'll keep this drag for now. Get both of them out there. Let's increase the space here where we're going to put the Shadow Siege eventually. And I'm actually okay playing the Perils of Production now, because I'd really like to play Subsuming Blade. You know what? This outright just kills this guy, which is good. Then we don't take any damage on Wickless Tycoon. Okay. Get our dudes back. I do now realize we have this issue of playing both of them and Subsuming Blade in the same turn, which is a little bit of a problem. Something to think about, but we're not going to worry about it right now. We just want to get as much damage as we can on these guys. This is going to do, yeah, this is perfect. We're going to kill everything. Should be getting, yep, still the same stuff. That's 3 cards we're having on holdover all the time. So then the question becomes, do that so we can get rid of you. If we had another Permafrost, then we'd be in good shape. Let's get you up here, get Endless onto you. And we should be totally fine. Okay, this is not the turn we want Shadow Siege, so unfortunate. But it's kind of on our own fault. It's our own fault there. We're still going to play these guys out. We're just not going to Subsuming Blade them. We'll get this guy up here. And then we'll Subsuming Blade him. Yeah, we get 2 Weight of Contritions, unfortunately. Which makes it so we can only play 1 Entombed Explosive and a Shade Splitter. But going into the final, we should be totally fine here. Ah, it's close actually. Mortal Entrapment though should push it over the edge. Yeah, we're good. We even do Perils of Production just to give you more damage. We're already back to, I think, close to 400 coins after the fight's over. Oh, more than 400 coins. Hey, there's Furnace Tap. Permafrosted. That's like the best possible combination. Sweet Cup and Cakes. So then the question is draw or Ember cost? I think it's draw. There's a good chance we can end up with 6 Ember per turn. And given that setup, I would rather just keep working. Oh, I think we go for... What do we want to get rid of? I think it's dregs at this point. So we want to yeet out some dregs. We can get a free artifact and potentially buy another really good artifact. Doesn't really fit. Buffs. Certainly better than Fade's First Blade because we have no burnout units. I think we should get rid of 2 dregs. And what do we get here? Okay, so we have unlimited Ember costs now. Or we have unlimited Ember. So I'm really glad we took draw. The nice thing is we can, because of the holdover, we can literally just kill it with the holdover subsuming blade and immediately gain 5 Ember. That's just hilarious to me. All right, this should be fine. We do so much damage. We're going to be able to play Shadow Siege pretty early. Yeah, that relic is about the perfect relic you could ask for with this build. So now the question is, do we start with Shadow Siege? Because we can play him first turn, which is very appealing to me. Alternatively, we play everything else. I think we just play it. Let's get it out there. We can even put it on a... There we go. So now we don't even have any Ember Drain going into the next turn. So we can Subsuming Blade the backliner. You're going to kill him. We can also Greed. If we Greed, we pick off the Collector instead. Certainly want you to die. I really think we Greed here. Get the Collector. Because it's worth 100 coins. And he's going to kill everything. As long as we can play... As long as we can play our stuff, which we can. Yeah, we're going to be fine. That's great. So we can do... Get a drag out there. Get a Shade Splitter out there. You're doing just fine. 1, 2. We can Subsuming Blade you, or probably just the backliner. And then the question is, I think we get... Remnant Pact on you doesn't really make sense. Let's just hold them for now. There's 1. So now we can do this combo. So we can do Entombed Explosive, Subsuming Blade. That gets us 5 Ember. I don't know what we want to do with the Crucible Warden. Let's get extra space up here so we can start fitting other units there. We want that. I think we do want you to have a 3rd strike. Let's chump block with a drag. And you know what? Let's just put you up here. Cool. And we should be fine now. We don't really care about the garbage. It's annoying, but it's like, whatever, man. Let's give you this. Get you in here. Get you here. We can Subsuming Blade. If we Subsuming Blade you, because you're killing both of them. Yeah, this is just fine. And then we get rid of these 2. So now we only have 1 more garbage added to the deck, and we can even minimize that moving forward. So we want you in there, Subsuming Blade to get the Ember. None of these guys have taken any damage, so we can't use that. Let's put another Entombed Explosive here. Get a couple of Shade Splitters out. One here to block the hit there. One here to block the hit here. And everything's looking totally fine. 5 Ember cost going in there. I am absolutely fine. Just hitting this guy for 200. Although this would mean we take only 3 damage, which is also pretty good. Ah, dang, we didn't use Subsuming Blade. That was a mistake. Guess we get health on you. Alright, so we double. Okay, that works. And give you all the rage. Well, this is certainly working out well. I don't know. I mean, this is a pretty big high roll. The fact that we got a multi-striking... Okay, a Votivary is very interesting. A multi-striking Shadow Siege. Damage Shield 3 makes that pretty bad. We don't want Subsuming Blade, a second one. At least not that second one. Excavated Ember is unnecessary. We don't want Prism Retrieval. Do we want Prism Retrieval? No, I don't think so. The only thing I'm thinking is that you could use it to get Shadow Siege if you miss it the first time, but we would want Permafrost on it in that case. We certainly don't want it to not consume. And we don't want to grovel. I think we're good. We have the deck we want. In fact, we would like it to be even thinner than it is. So we have more likely... We're more likely getting the actual things we want. The other question is, do we duplicate? Yeah, I think so. If we want to duplicate, let's check out what we have here in terms of relics first. We have no X cost cards, so that's pretty worthless. Getting 7 Ember on the first turn is actually pretty good. Armor gain is good there as well. And then Permafrost on the other Perils of Production. Seems okay. We have about the perfect deck here. What do we want? I think we want another Furnace Tap. Get a ×4 Shadow Siege. I think it's a pretty straightforward fight here. Melee weakness, as long as we can chump block with what are they called? Tombs, we should be fine. We can block most of the hits here. But the question is, do we need to? I think we'd rather just get Shadow Siege on the bottom. Well... Putting these guys... the problem is putting these guys on the bottom. I think we do it like this. Because morsels don't increase his rally. That's going to give him a lot of health. We want it like this so that he's tanking. And then we'll get Endless on the Rector Flicker later. Let's put the drag out here for now. Really, really good chance we can play Shadow Siege immediately. We can. That's excellent. We don't have a Tomb unit to take advantage of Subsuming Blade right now. The question is, do we wait for Shadow Siege or do we play it out now? I think it's hard to justify not playing it right now when it's pretty easy to play it. Just get him out. Yeah, I think that's better. He's not going to be dying anytime soon. We can put 2 units in front to block most of the damage. Like even here, just 1 Tomb unit. Once we get extra capacity, just 1 Tomb unit. And then we can already do double Furnace Tap if we want. But I think better would be just to get Endless on him. And then if he dies, we can bring him back and then Furnace Tap him. Because we don't need to do it now. So let's get the Pact down on... Is it on... Yeah, it's got to be on Shadow Siege. Then we get you up here. can even toss a Shade Splitter in there to block another hit. And we just hold these. We don't need to play them right now. Now, we definitely want double Entombed Explosives here. We can Subsuming Blade. Let's see. We want you here. Then we need a blocker. Or, you know what? We just Subsuming Blade this backliner. Now you're living. We can get Damage Shield on you, which is pretty important. And I think we could get... if we double Furnace Tap Rector Flicker, that might be okay. This guy's endless. He's going to stick around for a long time. I think we can afford to do this. Because that kills everything, does so much damage. We can even get, if we want, because we're going to get 10 more Ember. Let's just stack this guy. Just have him start doing insane amounts of damage. There we go. Wow, we actually did not get nearly as much damage as I was thinking we were going to get. That's fine. We can put another... we can double block with Morsels here to keep him alive. It's a question of how important is it to keep him alive here. I think it's pretty important, even more than this. Oh, we only need one. Okay, then we can block with you. And that helps out a lot. Yeah, he's gaining so much HP. He's going to have so much damage. I think it's going to be much better for us. Okay, there's his spell weakness. We can chump block. Get you there. We can chump block with an Entombed Explosive, which reduces the damage quite a bit. It doesn't reduce the damage at all, somehow. I don't know how that math was working out. Oh, because you were taking off. Okay, that makes sense. I get it. Get you out here. You out here. You know what we can do, though, is we can do this. Yeah, don't hit me. Thanks. And now we're on one more, and then we're on Final Wave. So we want to take exactly one hit here. Let's get you in there. I think we are taking a hit. Let's see. You're killing that. Then you're killing that and hitting me. We can Subsuming Blade you to get a lot more damage onto Seraph. 175. And then we can just toss some stuff here. I mean, I'm not too worried. I think we're going to kill... we can even chump block here. As long as we can get him within 400 health, we're going to be fine. And ideally, we get the melee weakness off now. Which we do. Yeah, we're totally fine here. We're doing so much damage with him.
It's time for your favorite part of the day.
Oh, why you gotta be like this?
Because it's already, I'm seeing all the fog of all the mist of stuff happening. I've been breathing in for the last 2 days. Sorry.
I don't know what your problem is.
Look, I'm setting the timer. I will be back as soon as it finishes.
I don't believe you. Just yell at me when it's done.
Okay.
Hey, we're taking 14 damage here. I think we're gonna be just fine. So yeah, that's preloaded. So clearly we hit the nuts. You can't say this was just like, oh yeah, standard build, but I still think this is a good combination because Accumulator is so consistent. And we could have gone Reform as well, so Reform would have been an easy option. The Tomb units being endless ended up being really good. But yeah, we got kind of the nuts. But we didn't need it. I mean, we had double Furnace Taps. So even getting one Furnace Tap made a huge difference. You saw in Rector Flicker. He was doing so much damage. Wickless Tycoon ended up getting us a lot of money. And then it was pretty straightforward for us to play Shadow Siege because we had 2 Perils of Production, both of them at the end with Permafrost. So yeah, I think it's a all around, and oh, wow, it's already the cold setting in. All around, really strong, consistent deck here. I mean, we got mean, this was just a nuts deck. We got everything we needed to play every card we needed, and it all like fit together. The only things that we got that didn't really fit was like the cleansing water, maybe Pyre Wall, but this was all nuts. The fact that we could get a rail forger's hammer, so that we didn't have to take capacity, made a huge difference as well, because then we could take double draw. I guess we could have done it with a space prism. That would have been fine, but then having the extra space made a huge difference, being able to play both entombed explosives. So it was like.